Thank you. Now, Sony says online services for its PlayStation console are now being restored, and Microsoft's Xbox Live network, which also stopped working on Christmas Day following a cyber attack, is also coming back online. A hacking group called Lizard Squad claimed to have caused the problems to both gaming systems. From our central London studio, I'm joined now by the cybersecurity expert Dr. Jessica Barker. And these were described as a denial of service attack. For lay people, please describe, if you can, what one of those is.
Yeah, of course. So it's actually a distributed denial of service attack. And what that means is that thousands of computers are compromised by the attackers, and they kind of point them all at the servers that they are targeting to flood their networks and to knock them over. So a good way to think about it is if you are trying to cram 1,000 envelopes into a postbox. You're trying to cram so much in and directing so much traffic at it in terms of the internet that you can't get through, you can't get any information across, and it falls over.
Isn't it surprising that both Sony and Microsoft don't have, to continue your analogy, multiple postboxes so that anyone, anywhere can at least make that connection?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's more complicated than I've explained, but absolutely it's very surprising that these kind of organisations don't have better security. And I know Lizard Squad have said that because of Sony's history, I assume, and because they've been under attack so many times before, that they actually found Sony a harder target and that they had to do more work to have a successful attack on them. But I think it's probably very surprising for people at home to learn that information security in some of the biggest global corporations is actually not very powerful. And again, Lizard Squad have said since the attack that was one of their reasons for doing this, was to highlight the lack of security in so many organisations and to try and encourage them to improve their security for their users.
It seems a fairly tame excuse for mayhem, doesn't it? Just to do it because you can. It's not linked, or is it, do you think, in any way to the other division of Sony? This is Sony Gaming. Sony Pictures, of course, are all tied up in the difficulties with North Korea.
Yeah, it's very hard with any internet attack to attribute kind of who has done it and why they have done it. It doesn't appear to be linked. Sony have been attacked many times in the past over the last few years, and they have been targeted by Lizard Squad before. The idea that it's just being done for the lulz, for the laughs, is quite a common thing with these kind of, especially these DDoS, distributed denial of service attacks. And it's partly, I think it's partly to show how powerful these groups are and to kind of show a level of skill and a level of power coming from the hackers that are doing it.
And now this same group are claiming that they've parked, if you like, their activity against the gaming networks and said, we're now having a go at the Tor network. Now, this is something that maybe many people are unfamiliar with, but this is linked, isn't it? Or it's one of the gateways to what we call the dark web. Could you explain that for us?
Well, Tor actually, it's kind of a wider idea than just the dark web, but Tor it's one of the most successful systems for enabling anonymous use of the internet. So it masks public IP address of its users. And absolutely, Lizard Squad have said that they've turned their attention to that, or it appears that they have turned their attention to that, which has surprised many in the hacker community, because the Tor network is used across the world for people who maybe are in a regime or a country that doesn't allow freedom of speech, restricts internet use. So it's been used, for example, it was used a lot in Egypt in the recent uprising there last year. So it's been very surprising, and I know Anonymous have come out and kind of asked Lizard Squad to think again and to not attack something that enables freedom of speech and freedom of information on the internet.
Yeah, and fair to say, Jennifer, that I think the Tor project, which is a sort of spokes umbrella, as I can understand it, spokesperson from this is saying it's not having much effect. They're claiming it's only knocked about 1% of their global capacity. So maybe we'll come back to you later to see how that goes. Jessica Barker, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much.